Hey, what's up, everyone? Just wanted to say thank you one more time for anyone that donated to the Kickstarter. Um, and this is going to be just kind of our first studio update. So, we're going to start with the home studio, which is right over here right now, next to my kitchen, and with my squat rack in the living room, and the dog. And basically, we'll go into the actual studio later when we do the reamping. But I figured first we'd show you the pre-production project and basically explain how we're able to keep the cost down for the album so much, because if you go into the studio it can cost um, sometimes thousands of dollars. So basically it all starts with a very simple interface. We just use the one that basically everyone has, which is the Focusrite Scarlett Solo or the 2i2. Any of those will work. Really anything that has a instrument input, which is just about any modern interface. Um, and we basically just plug into that with the guitars, and then the signal goes directly into the computer. So right now we'll hop into the Reaper project, and we'll give you a little tour of that. So here we are in Reaper, which is basically a tool similar to Cubase or Logic or Pro Tools. We're not professional mixers, Mark and I, so this gets the job done for basically everything we need to do, which is creating stems. So we have like our temp drums here, we have all the guitars, we have even all our orchestrations, which we do all ourselves, so we program all that stuff. So I'll just give you a quick sneak peek of the song, and then I'll break down what goes on. So as you can hear, it's a pretty rough sounding demo. Obviously much different than the two releases that we've put out. But this is the same process that we've done for all our songs so far. So we have like our temp drums here. We use Perfect Drums for that. The guitars here. And then, like I said, we do all our orchestrations ourselves. So we program those using something like Audio Imperia plugins and stuff like that. And they sound really good, and it's basically what's used in the final for the album. So yeah, so let's go over the guitars. So like I said, we basically plug the guitar in to the Focusrite, and that just gives us a raw signal, which if you've never heard a raw DI guitar, it sounds pretty weird and maybe not what you would expect. So it sounds weird because there's no distortion on it, right? So basically what we do is we put an amp sim on it. So you use something like Neural DSP plugins. There's tons of really good free ones as well. And you basically just make them sound like this. Now, the part where people get confused is when you send these out to the producer, you actually send them out with the DI sound, not with the distortion on it. And basically what we do is the computer plays this sound, and then it goes into a real amplifier. That's why it's called reamping. And then you basically mic up the amplifier. So we'll hop into the studio now and we'll show you exactly what I mean. So here we are in the studio, and basically you can see Randy's computer here has the stems that I exported from the session you saw before. It goes out of his interface into my amp head, and then it's plugged in the same way you would for any kind of show, where the amp head is plugged into the cabinet, and then over here we have a microphone hooked up to the cabinet. So essentially he just presses play, and then it sends the signal through, and then we just sit here for hours and hours and hours, and then it's finally done. And then we do the lead guitars, and we sit there for hours and hours more. Right now we're going to do one of my favorite parts, which is redoing the wah-wah live in the studio without holding the guitar. So Randy's going to hit play. the signal is going to go through this chain, and I'm going to do the wah live, and then it records through the DI. It makes no sense, but it works. All right, let's do it.
There we go.